Here at Joshua Springs Park and Reserve today in some part of Texas. I'll put the description up here, but it's really interesting so far. They have something called disc golf. I was just talking to a couple and they say they are avid disc golfers, and they actually were visiting from Austin and found out that this reserve has a disc golf field. So I'm gonna have to look that up on YouTube to see what that is, because they say they are addicted. Here is the map. And we're gonna take Joshua Creek Loop. According to All Trails, this loop's supposed to be about 3.5 miles. And then there is not a mountain, I guess it is a mountain, up here, right up there. And there's some kind of building, or maybe it's concessions. We'll see, just exploring today. So on the way in, I saw visitor center. I saw a beautiful playground. There's a dog park and just a lot of wide open spaces. So I've made it up to the top of that mountain I was talking about. It is called Ring Mountain. And at the top here is an event center. And just a really pretty view. I'm wondering what this looks like at night. You can have like a nice little party up here and see all the lights off in the distance. At least that's what I imagine. Anywho, check out these views. Although the climb up here was pretty gradual, as you can see, I'm sweating. So depending on what type of walk you want to do, if you just want to do the loop itself, the loop does not come up here. This kind of like veers off into like a paved road to get up here. But the loop itself is definitely less elevation. So if you plan on coming up to the top of the mountain, just know that it is gradual, but a bit challenging. Just saw some deer. They blend in with the landscape, so I didn't bother to try to pull out the camera, but they were very curious. That also tells me there's probably no large predators in this park, so that's always comforting. Sitting here in like I guess it's a parking lot, halfway up this Ring Mountain. But if you're curious like me, because I always want to know why things are named what they're named. Like, how did that come about? And I asked the Google, and I'm gonna read what Google says. So it says the name Joshua Springs comes from a natural spring located within the park, which has long been a vital water source in the area. It's one of several natural features in the park that help sustain local wildlife and flora. All right, so they named the park after the water. Makes sense. So I'm going to take an educated guess and say that that tin-looking thing has mesh at the top of it, like going up the pole. So I'm going to assume that that keeps all the other animals out, the scavenging animals like the raccoons and the squirrels and things, because birds need their food too. Pasture number 2 is basically just a roundabout of lots of tall grass. It's really peaceful, I guess. It's kind of tucked off in the corner here. This trail goes around the whole pasture. So I think that's good if you want to get some extra miles. When I tell you passing, this is pasture number 3. When I tell you passing through these pastures reminds me of Little House on the Prairie. Just look at this. And they're so strategically placed. It's just beautiful and peaceful. Like, I'm gonna say a couple of prayers here. There's the highway. It's pretty loud too. But just on this section of trail, I'm probably about 2.5 miles in, and this section kind of runs right next to the highway. So slightly annoying, but you know, you have to deal with human sprawl pretty much no matter where you go. So here's the disc golf that I learned about in the beginning of the hike when I was talking to that couple from Austin, and that is par 4. So there's a bunch of these around, and not too far from this is, so this is what catches the disc. They showed me the disc itself, and the disc looks kind of like a frisbee, but soft in the middle. This says T15 over here. There are 2 docks over there if you want to bring your boats out here and launch your boat, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of water. Oops, forgot to do a proper outro. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already.